Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, welcome from Professional Solidarity Forum. And as you are aware, these are like PSF. We started this Meet the Professional series in a couple of months back, and the objective was to meet meet you every week a new professional, so that they can share their experiences, their knowledge, and so it was knowledge sharing session. So we started with that, and now today we are going to meet Mr. Abdullah Ghulam. So he's a Microsoft Azure Cloud Solution Architect, 15 plus years of experience, and he's going to talk on on-prem to cloud, how we are going on-prem to Azure cloud. So, Mr. Ghulam, welcome from PSF, and over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Just give me a couple of minutes, I'll get started.
Sure.
I hope everyone can see my screen. Just give me a nod.
Yeah, we can see your screen, but we cannot see you.
Do you want the video to be on? Is it fine if I just present the screen and speak?
Yeah, as you wish.
Yeah. So, everyone, my name is Abdullah Khan. I have over 14 years of IT experience. I've worked in various roles, right from software engineer to a technical architect. These are the companies I work for: Nest Edison, Tesco, and Microsoft. Microsoft R&D as a technical lead for close to 3 years. Then I moved on to the technical architect role. And after that, I decided to be a corporate trainer. And now I'm a technical corporate trainer. And I also do consulting on the architectural aspects. I train multiple corporates. And this is one of the screen grab of PSF event, which I have attended. And this is one of the screen grab of the training which I gave in Chennai. I keep traveling across India, sometimes abroad for technical training purposes. And this is one of the trainings which I gave in Chennai on Mean Stack. This was the last training before everyone went virtual, before the pandemic hit. After this, after the March of last year, everything is virtual now. All of my trainings are completely virtual now. Apart from giving trainings, I also am part of some global international events. This is one of the international event I am part of. This is Global Azure Bootcamp. It's an event which is sponsored by Microsoft and it is organized in one or the other corporate company. Last year in 2019, it was organized in Tech Mahindra On the left hand corner, that is the Tech Mahindra's Asia Pacific head handing me over the trophy. In 2020, there were no international events in which I participated because there was nothing happening. It's a pandemic driven world. In 2021, I am part of the Microsoft Ignite event. It's an international event and it is a 3 day event. The Satya Nadella also joins this event on all the days. I had given a tech talk on leveling up your career March 3rd, just 2 days back. And that's me on the poster. So I give speeches on the international forums on multiple levels. This is the official speech which I've given on the Microsoft front. There is another speech which I'll be giving on MCT forum. It's a Microsoft Certified Trainer virtual summit. It's organized by the Middle East wing of Microsoft. It would be on the March 19th, according to the Arabic day, on the Friday. That's what is the other event which I would be participating in. Speaking about my certifications, I'm a Microsoft Certified Azure Solution Architect, and I'm also a MCTS, which is Microsoft Certified Technology Specialist. I'm also a MCP, which is Microsoft Certified Trainer. I train multiple corporates. These are a few which I have given trainings on. There are many more apart from what you see on the slide. I give trainings on multiple stack of technologies like ASP.NET Core Full Stack, .NET Full Stack, Mean Stack, which is Mongo Express, Angular, and Node, and Mern Stack, which is Mongo Express, React, and Node. I also deal with multiple Azure certifications. If you're familiar with Simplilearn and Edureka and Microsoft trainings, I am a partner to all of them. I'm a freelancer. I don't work for anyone. I'm a freelancer. I work for many organizations on the fly. This is a slide where I would understand what the students' pulse is, just to understand what you are. Your name is anyway there on the chat window. Can you just tell me what is your title or function? What is your Microsoft Azure or cloud experience? And what is it that you expect out of this talk? What is it that you're expecting? What is it that you need? Can you just give me that? Forget about your expectations on the course. This is the official slide which I use. So what is it that you expect out of this talk? Can you just specify those things on the chat window? You need not speak. You can just ping these details on the chat. Please do that, everyone. What is the title or function? Are you a software engineer or are you a fresher? What's your cloud experience and what are your expectations? Can you just brief about it? Ping on the chat window. I'm just waiting for people to ping. Yeah, so that's from Nadimuddin. That's good. He's a network and security engineer. There's a software engineer from RPA. Okay, he just wants to learn the basics of Azure. That's from Umar. Shadows is a manager in Cognizant. That's good. We have a fresher out here. That's nice. Okay, that's from Amjad from supply chain. That's nice. Umar, I will come to that question. I got your question. I'll come to that after a while. Okay. Okay. Quite a few people from the fresher background. Uh, is good. What about others? I think that's pretty much about it. No one else wants to share their experience, and everyone is done, I believe. So let's move on. Just to answer what Umar is saying. That's an interesting question. So what is Umar saying is there are two segregations most famously in the market, right? You have AWS and Azure. What should I go with? Let me answer it in a different way. I have an application, I'm a client. I have an application which I need to build. I have a retail application which needs to be built, like Amazon.in or Flipkart.com. That's what I want to build. Now you tell me, which stack can I use to build it? Should I use Java stack? Should I use .NET stack? Should I use Mean stack, which is Mongo Express, Angular, and Node? Should I use Mern stack? Which stack should I use? Or Python? Which stack should I use, according to you? Or I can use any of these stacks to go ahead and build this application. What is your opinion? It need not be exactly correct, but what's your opinion? Can I build it with any of these stacks of technologies? Or do you think it is only Mean stack or Mern stack which I need to use for whatever reason? What about others? What is your opinion about how I need to build this application? Yeah, if you are still doubting, I can use anything. Then why will I go with the .NET stack versus Java stack? I might be a client already using Java stack for other projects which I have. My inclination automatically will be Java stack. Apart from many other reasons, Java stack would be one of the inclination which I have. I might be a client who is already using Microsoft stack in much of my projects. I want to start up a new project. Obviously, I would lean towards .NET stack. There are other stacks, but because I have the infrastructure, I have my engineers ready, I have all the licenses, and my relationship with Microsoft products is pretty good, I would go with the .NET stack. That's as simple as what your question is. Should I go with AWS cloud or Azure cloud? You can go with anything. There are many reasons why you choose one over other. There are business reasons. There is an existing infrastructure which your client might already have, because of which you would lean towards one cloud or the other cloud. There's no good cloud or a bad cloud out there. Okay, both of these solutions like Azure and AWS, they are brilliant. They're genius cloud application development platforms. There's no doubt in it. Apart from you have other cloud-driven architectures, right? Like Oracle has its own, IBM has its own. They are not completely 360-degree cloud offerings. Azure, AWS, and now you have a new competitor, GCP, right? So the Google Cloud Platform. These are heavy infrastructures which can scale up and which can do the job for me. So no good cloud or a bad cloud. First, take it out of your heads that should I learn this or that? Learn anything, but make it sensible of why am I taking a particular track? Is it because already I have a .NET background because of which I'm taking this decision of moving to the Azure cloud because that is what goes hand in hand with it? Or what is the reason I'm choosing a particular stack of technologies? Don't choose it just because someone is just suggesting you. Do you think there is a demand for C++ engineers in the market? Yes, no, what do you think? C++ engineers. Is there a good amount of demand for good engineers on C++? What do you think, according to you? Yes, no? Is there a demand for C++ engineers today in 2021? Is there a demand for C++ engineers? Embedded C, if you have heard about it. Is there a demand? If you don't think so, it is absolutely so. Okay. There is a very high demand. A 3-year experienced good C++ professional whom I have in my circle, whom I know personally, he draws a package of 18 lakhs per annum. 3-year experienced engineer with a startup. Okay. So now go ask him. You can just go ask him, what should I learn? He will say C++. Does that look fancy to you? You will say, no, what is C++? Why should I learn that? Because he is already in that background. He already is earning money there. He would obviously tell you C++ is good because I'm getting the money. So that question should be asked very carefully because it depends upon whom you are asking to. Depending upon whom you're asking to, he will give you the answer appropriately. There is no good technology or a bad technology. Like I'm saying C++, even today, be good at C++, I'll find you a job. Be very good at this, send me a resume, I'll find you a job. But you should be very good. So there's no good technology or a bad technology. It's a good engineer or a bad engineer. That's what we have. Okay, there's no technology which is good or bad. It's how much did you learn and how much can you code and how much can you build out of what you have learned. That's what matters. It's not the technology which has a limitation. It's the people. Okay. So when you go to big companies like Microsoft, I've worked with Microsoft for close to 3 years. They will check different aspects when it comes to hiring their professionals. You would be screwed on multiple aspects of coding, on designing, and scenario-based questions. There were 6 rounds when I got selected to Microsoft. They will scrutinize you in multiple aspects, then only they would go ahead and hire you in. So it's about the quality what you have, not which technology you learn. Okay, so first take it out of your heads that Azure is good or AWS is good or C++ is good. Everything is good. What do you want to learn? Okay, that's what matters. I hope that answers the question of Umar. So, what's cloud? Let us just start the discussion. What is cloud? If you have one of these things handy, if you have an Android phone, you would be already having a Google Drive where you would be saving your photos, or OneDrive if you have a PC on Windows or a Dropbox. If you are already having an account with one of these players, you already are interacting with a cloud technology. What is a cloud technology? Now, when you store the data in Google Drive, do you own the drive or is it owned by Google and you are given username password for it? Like the my laptop's hard drive, I physically own the hard drive of my laptop. I own it. That's mine. I can carry it. I own it, right? It's the hard drive. In that way, do you own Google Drive's server's location? Do you own it, or is it owned by Google? You are given access to it. It is owned by Google, and you're only given access to it. Using a username password, you are given access to that drive location. You don't own that in any way, right? That's what cloud is. It is something like a remote server. Where is your data being stored? Is it in a US server or an Indian server? You don't have clarity regarding it, right? Your photos and your stuff which you're storing in Google Drive. You don't have clarity regarding the location of the server. Where is Google storing it? In which server? In which rack of a data center? You don't have any clarity regarding it. Google is just saying, I'll save it for you. You trust Google. It's a private company and they own the data across the world, right? They own, that's where big data and stuff comes into picture. But yeah, we don't want to get into that. But that's what cloud is. You're actually given access to servers which are offered to you by the vendors. Who are the vendors? Microsoft in Azure, Amazon in AWS, Google in GCP. These are servers which are owned by the vendors out there. Now, why that term cloud came into picture? Why do we say cloud? Why did that pop up? What was the reason for that? Let me just open something interesting. Just give me a minute. I'm just browsing for it.
उस्मान और क्या करें नमाज पढ़ने जा रहे हैं पढ़ लिए हाँ पूछ लो
Oh, sorry. I think speaker was on mute. So, what do you have? Whenever you represented the internet in the textbooks back then, you were representing it as a cloud. How do we access the Google server? We access it using the internet. That's how you access the G drive, right? You access it using the internet. So there is a computer on the other end, which is offered by Google, and you are accessing the computer using internet. That's why it is called as cloud computing, because internet was represented like a cloud in our textbooks. The term cloud came from there. It's not the cloud which you see in the sky. It's a cloud which is coming from the textual images which we already are used to. That's what is the cloud computing term. That is where it is coming from, that cloud term. Let us just move on and speak about that. Definition of cloud computing. What is cloud computing? That's Gartner. If anyone is familiar with Gartner, he rates organizations. So What is Gartner saying? A style of computing in which scalable and elastic IT-enabled capabilities are delivered as a service using internet technologies. Quite a mouthful. Let us bifurcate this definition. There are keywords in this definition: scalable and elastic. Let us speak about scalability and elasticity. What are these two terms? What is scalability? What is elasticity? I do file IT returns using TaxSmile. That's a website using which I do IT returns. Many people across India do that. There is TaxSmile, there is ClearTax. There are multiple websites which are offering us the returns which we can file online, right? Let us think TaxSmile is an on-prem solution. What is an on-prem solution? Have you seen the server rooms on your corporate offices? The server rooms full of servers. Let me just pull one image so that you understand it better. That's a server room. Have you seen these rooms on the corporate buildings? Yes. If you have not seen it, let me show it. That's how it looks like. It would be a rack full of servers. There would be multiple racks. You would be having servers in those racks. There would be full of the AC ventilation would be given to it, and network engineers would be supporting it. Whenever I say on-prem or on-premise, imagine this image. What should you imagine? That's the image you need to imagine. It should be racks full of servers. That's the image you need to imagine. That's on-premise. There are a few slots which are available, right? There is some empty space. I can put more servers here. Let us think TaxSmile is an on-premise solution. What is it? It's an on-premise solution, TaxSmile. The architect of TaxSmile did some load testing and stress testing. He understood there are currently two servers in which TaxSmile website has been deployed. It has been deployed in two boxes. When I say servers, the boxes which you saw just now in the racks, those are the two servers in which I have deployed TaxSmile. I expect the ID returns are from April till August, right? It will get extended. That's fine. And from April till August, I expect the traffic to increase. The traffic will increase because people will start filing their IT returns from April till August. For 5 months, the traffic will increase. If it increases for 5 months, I need to do something. These two servers will not cater the requests. What is the solution which architects give? You need to add more servers to the cluster. Something like this. There are already two servers which are present. There are already two servers, like server 1, server 2. There are already two servers which are present. Both of these servers would be having something called as a load balancer, which would be used, and the load balancer would be connected to these servers. And the traffic would be hitting the load balancer, right? The incoming traffic comes to the load balancer. It is the load balancer who decides how to route this traffic. He's intelligent. The architect understood that I need to add 3 more servers because my traffic will increase. How do we add 3 more servers? Have 3 more boxes, attach them to the load balancer. As simple as that. That's what is the plan of the architect. Looks good. What all should I do to add 3 more boxes? What are those boxes? Servers. I need to add 3 more servers to the cluster. Check what all I need to do. I need to get approvals. From appropriate heads. Once I get approvals, I need to procure the servers. What is procuring the servers? I need to buy them. Okay, that's what is procuring. You go ahead and buy them. Let them come from EMEA, or let them be from AP, from Asia Pacific, or European region. Anything is fine. Let us say we are buying it from Europe, wherever in Europe. Don't ask me from where. We are buying it from EMEA. Can people just mute themselves? Thank you. So we just have to go ahead and procure the servers, and that's what is the next step. I will buy the servers. Once I buy the servers, I will attach it to the existing infrastructure. Who will do this job of attaching it to the existing infrastructure? Who will do this? What are those engineers called?
Network engineers.
Engineers. Yeah. So it will be the network engineers who will do the job for me. That's good. I'm happy. Think of how many teams. If there are a 5-team network engineers in a 24-hour slot, how many teams do I require? How many teams of network engineers I require?
3 teams.
Why did he come up with the 3 number? That's good. Why 3 teams? Why did he come up with the 3 number? Whoever said that, that's good. You will have a shift of 8 hours. You need 3 teams, shift. Right? You need 3 teams because it's a 8-hour shift just to support that single room out there, which is on your corporate office. You need 3 teams which are doing the router. That's what is the work which our support engineers do. That's brilliant. That's another thing which I require. That's a cost for me. It's a cost for me. What's the next thing which I require? I need the power backup. It has to be always running. My website cannot go down. So the generators, that's another thing we require. What is the other thing? The room rent. Now you would say the building is already owned by the corporate office. I do understand. But let us add that separate room as a separate investment. Okay, the building is anyway owned, but we will add that room as a separate entity. I need to invest so much just to support a bunch of servers. I need to have the approvals done. I need to buy them out. I need to have the infrastructure plugged in, engineers supporting me day in, day out, and having a power backup and a room to be rented. So many different things. I'm happy. It went fine, and my calculation went fine, and the 5 servers did take care of the incoming traffic. That's brilliant. I did the job. I, as an architect, did the job, and 5 servers has taken the very well taken care of the traffic which is coming in. That's everyone is happy. There is something called as return on investment. The heads will ask, how much did you invest and how much did you get back? The return on investment. You invested on 3 extra servers. Let us say the business was not so much. You did not make much money. The way you have the way you have invested, that's not how much you got back. Let us say it was less than what you invested. And what about the remaining months after August? After 5 months, the remaining 8 months or 7 months, You have moderate traffic. The traffic will go down after August. No one will file tax returns after that. The traffic goes down. The 2 servers are sufficient for the traffic. These extra servers, which you have added to your infrastructure, they are an overhead for the next 7 months. They are not required. But because you bought it, you are keeping it. It's an additional investment. That's the problem with an on-premise solution. These are stagnant solutions. And there is a lot of overhead of maintenance and teams and activity, too much of stuff which needs to be done to just maintain that simple room which you see there. Too much of headache goes around it. Come to the cloud. Let us think same TaxSmile is a cloud solution. TaxSmile is a cloud solution. It's not an on-premise solution. It's a cloud solution. What is a cloud solution? I'm using Microsoft Azure as my solution. That's what I'm using. And how easy is it for me to go ahead and host something in the cloud? It's a few clicks. I can host my application in the cloud within a few clicks, and I can have 2 VMs running in the cloud. I started with 2 servers here. You don't call them servers anymore. You call them virtual machines. That's fine. I have 2 VMs which I have in the cloud. I am the same architect. And when I saw that the traffic would increase, I have to add 3 more servers. I need to add 3 more VMs here. How easy is it for me to add VMs in the cloud? It's just a text box change which I need to do. A simple text box change which will have the value 2. I just need to delete it and say 5 and say apply. That's how simple it is for me to change the number of servers. Azure will take care of adding more servers to your cluster and putting a load balancer. Azure will do it for you within a couple of minutes, not even too slow. It'll be pretty fast. Within a couple of minutes, you will have Azure spinning up 3 additional VMs for you. That is what is called as scaling out. You can also call it a scale up. You are scaling your infrastructure from 2 VMs to 3 more VMs, which is 5 VMs. That's what is called as scaling. You are scaling your infrastructure. After August, I don't require those extra 3 servers anymore, the extra 3 VMs anymore. All I need to do, change the text box. After 5 months, I'm back to 2 servers. Azure will only charge me for the extra 3 VMs only for these 5 months. It will not charge me beyond that. It will only charge me for 5 months. I'm fine with that extra charge. That adding new servers and removing the existing servers, that's what is elastic, right? It's an elastic infrastructure. You're able to scale up and scale down. Check the definition now. What is cloud computing? A style of computing in which scalable and elastic services can be given to you. And how are you accessing these services? How are you accessing these services? You're accessing it using something called as the Azure Portal. That's the Azure Portal. Let me just open. I'm MCT, I get it free. Microsoft credits amount to me to use the portal. So that's the Azure Portal. I can create VMs, I can create resource groups. I work with multiple vendors like SimplyLearn. So that's the SimplyLearn app which I have created just now. So you just have multiple services which I can go ahead and work with, and I can create VMs, I can create app services, I can create logic apps. What are the kinds of services which I can go ahead and create in the cloud? Check that. You have multiple services which I can go ahead and create in the cloud. You can create VMs, you can, within this compute bucket, you have multiple services which you can create. VMs, function apps, container instances, service fabric clusters, cloud services, availability sets. There are multiple things. Cloud is an ocean. Each one is different. You should take some good amount of time to understand what each of these services are. There are 200 plus services which are offered by the cloud. VMs are just one among the 200 services which you can go ahead and work with. And what we just spoke about now is a VM. So how am I accessing this portal? Using internet, right? What is cloud computing? It is a style of computing in which scalable and elastic services are given to you using internet technologies. Does that fulfill the definition of the cloud? Yeah. So as I said, it looks like a complicated definition, but once you bifurcate it into pieces, it's very clear. It's a simple term which Gartner is using to make you understand what cloud is all about. So speaking more about cloud, it's beyond the scope of what we want to do now. But there are quite a few things which you can see. Let me just run through the services and then we can open the forum for question and answer sessions. So what are the different buckets you have? You have the compute bucket, wherein I can go ahead and create VMs and stuff. That's what is called as IaaS, infrastructure as a service. If you want the infrastructure, which is a discussion in itself, I would not go in depth into it, but IaaS is something which you can use in the compute. Then you have networking. When you have a VM, the VM needs to have a network. All the networking related stuff like load balancer, which we saw just now in the image, like virtual networks, like traffic manager. There are multiple things which will come into picture once you speak about networking. All the networking related stuff goes into this. By doing this, by moving from on-premise to the cloud, who is the one who is at stake? You can clearly see I don't any longer require the network engineers. There are quite a few jobs at stake once most of the people move to the cloud. Quite a few things. And once DevOps and kind of things come into picture, there are more jobs at stake. That's why you need more full stack engineers now in the market. That's a different discussion altogether. But yeah, you have networking, all the cabling stuff which network engineers do, all of that goes into this bucket, the networking bucket, 37 services within that. You have storage bucket. Whenever we think about storages, we only think in terms of SQL. These are NoSQL databases, the storage accounts and stuff which you can do there. The backend data, all of that goes into the storage bucket. The web bucket, you have 16 services in it. That's the PaaS options, platform as a service options, which you have there. It's a different discussion. I'm just giving you the introduction of what all you have here. The mobile services bucket, you have all the mobile services within this bucket. You have the containers, the container instances. These are the lightweight versions of VMs, the virtual machines. That's what are the container instances. Pretty recently organized things. If you start thinking in terms of microservices, that's where comes Dockers and Kubernetes and stuff. Pretty interesting stuff which you can do with microservices. All of the microservices related activities, they go into the container bucket. Speaking about the different kinds of databases, that's where you have the different kinds of databases which you see there. There is a Cosmos DB, there is a SQL DB, there is a PostgreDB, there is a MariaDB, there is a MySQL DB. Plenty of options. It depends upon what you want to design. That's why architects are very important for any of the cloud-driven projects. Too many options. What should I use? Right? It depends upon what do you want to do. That's what it depends upon. That's what is a databases bucket. Then you have analytics bucket, wherein you have 14 services. What's that? You have the data analytics. Your YouTube page, the homepage of YouTube, is different from the homepage of YouTube which I see. Why? It is designed as per your personalization, as per your interests. You might be browsing totally different things than what I browse. What is that? That's what is data analytics. YouTube understands you and me and what are our interests. Depending upon our interests, that particular videos are stored are shown on our home pages. That's analytics. Too many things to be discussed in data. You have data factories, data lakes, you have Azure data bricks, quite a few things. All of the data related stuff and big data stuff goes into the analytics block. Then you have blockchain, one of the things which you hear a lot nowadays, right? So blockchain and stuff. And that those are the two services which go inside the blockchain bucket. Then you have the AI and ML stuff, the artificial intelligence and the machine learning stuff, the cognitive services. You can build bots using this. Nowadays, when you visit any websites, on the right hand corner, you see a chat bot. It just pops up, yeah, hi there, anything I can help you with? You speak to a bot there. It's the automated agent which is ready to serve you. The AI and ML stuff goes into this bucket. Then you have the Internet of Things. What is Internet of Things? People are connected to multiple devices these days. I'm connected to my laptop, to the internet, through my laptop, through my desktop, through my smartphone, through my smart watch, through my smart TV, and I have a Bluetooth internet enabled stereo in my car. I myself am connected to 6 devices. By 2025, the expectation is each person would be having 8 devices to which he would be connected to. Too much of data, right? All of this spit information. My laptop spits information, my mobile spits information about my location, my details, my smartwatch spits information about my health and other related activities. Much of that data is being collected, and that's what forms the Internet of Things. It's beyond what I'm just saying. It is quite an interesting topic if we start discussing about it. 25 services in the IoT stuff. Then you have the MR stuff, the mixed reality. There is virtual reality, there is augmented reality, there is mixed reality. You have different kinds of things which you can work with. The mixed reality, a couple of services within that. Then you have the integration services. These services integrate the other services which we have seen on the top. These are the integration services which you have. The event grids and the event hubs. That's what you have there. These are the services which actually bothers you and me when we see the notifications on top of the mobile phones. It is the event grids and the notification hubs which are pushing those notifications onto your mobile phones on the top, right? You every time see the notifications, right? Those are the things which are doing the job for you. The event grids and the notification hubs. The identity management stuff, quite a few services there. The Azure AD, Azure Active Directory, quite a few good things which you can work with to manage the identities of the people in the cloud. Security stuff and the DevOps and the migrate, the people who want to migrate from the on-premise to the cloud. You have multiple migrate services in the migrate bucket. You have quite a few options. So if I keep speaking about each of that, it would be a session in itself. So more than 200 services out there for you to use. What to use where? That is the knowledge which you need to build. It's quite a decent amount of things which I can do using the cloud portal, using the Azure portal. That's something which I wanted to introduce in this session so that you just get a flavor of what cloud is and what's the fab around the cloud. The Zoom portal, which you and I are working with, is a cloud-based solution. Zoom never expected that it would get so huge amount of traffic because no one expected the pandemic which we would go in. Zoom is one of the biggest winners in the pandemic times. But if Zoom was a solution like this, like the on-premise solution, if Zoom was a solution like this, would it be easy for you to scale this solution? Let me just, if it was a solution like this, then the Zoom engineers have to go and add more servers to the racks. During the pandemic times, no one was available. It is not a solution like this, it is a solution like this. That's how a data center would look like. People can mute themselves, it's disturbing. That's a data center. Some Tom Cruise movie related snapshot. You think like as if you're watching a Tom Cruise movie's snapshot there. That's a data center. It is also a rack full of servers, but these are very powerful servers. And when I'm interacting and doing something in the portal, I'm actually interacting with a data center like that. That's what a data center looks like. And you're actually interacting with a data center using the cloud portal right here. This session is just to give you a flavor of what you can do in the cloud and what's the thing all about. And Zoom is a cloud solution. Because it was a cloud solution from day one, scaling up in new servers and spinning up new servers was just another day. And it scaled up pretty well during the pandemic times. And you look at the business of Zoom now, it has zoomed pretty high. It is the same thing with Netflix. 50% more subscribers seen on Netflix during the pandemic times. How did they scale up? They were a cloud solution. Same with YouTube, all of the online platforms. There was a big demand for the online platforms because everyone went indoors. A very huge demand. If these were not cloud solutions, they would not have made the money which they made today. So it is all the very easy for us to make people understand that cloud is very important and cloud computing is very important these days. That's why you see a huge drive across corporates to scale up their employees on the cloud front. I get at least 20 to 30 contracts a month just to train their employees on the cloud front. That's how much people require cloud computing and working with the cloud in the current times. So let it be Azure cloud or AWS cloud, go the cloud way, learn more about the basics of the cloud and how do you work with it, how do you scale up to those technologies. That is one thing which I would suggest you to go to, and that is one thing which you can look at. So that's pretty much about what I wanted to present today. Any questions you have for me, go ahead and shoot. I'm here to answer.
Hi, Abdullah. This is Umar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Abdullah, it was really a great session till now. So, Abdullah, my query is you have a lot of services as you showed, like you have storage, you have identity management, you have integration. So, what would you suggest for anyone as a fresher to get into this Azure, or as a fresher who does not have any coding experience or anything? What would you suggest to get into as a fresher? Which service would you like them to suggest?
Start with certifications and go with the AZ 900 certification. It's about Microsoft Azure fundamentals. every time you want to project to the people that you know something, what is the validity that you know something? Get certified. No matter it is Azure, or no matter it is Python, or no matter it is AWS, that's a good stamp on your resume. On the right hand corner of the resume, just stick that logo that you are certified in so and so. It's a very good way of projecting your profile. Get certified, and if you want to start off with AZ 900. That's a basic certification on the Azure front. So better start off with that. You will get a lot of things as an input in the AZ 900. It is a good add onto your resume. So better go with certifications. Anytime you're learning something, get certified. That is what I would suggest. It's a good way of projecting your profile. Okay.
So you are, as you said, you will be training people. So you have a courses, or would you recommend any other platform to learn this AZ 900?
Any other platform? There's no platform as such. You can do the self-learning, or you can go with any of the online tutorial providers out there, and just check which will suit your benefits. Go on demo sessions with these tutorials. Check the trainer. Are you understanding him fine? Check him for a couple of sessions, then go ahead and pay for it. So learn it online. There are too many good service providers out there who give you a decent amount of service on the certifications front. Better go with any of the online providers and or offline providers. I don't mind. It all depends upon your comfort level. So go with anyone, but get certified on each step. So go with AZ 900. After AZ 900, go with AZ 104 if you want. That's the other certification which you can think about, wherein you can learn how to go ahead and become an Azure administrator. Once you're done with AZ 900, you can move on to the next step in the pipeline, which would be AZ 204. So you have multiple certifications, and each certification will go ahead and take you the next step into the pipeline. So you keep moving forward, and you keep increasing your knowledge on the Azure front. That's only on the Azure front. If you're thinking from the .NET front, there are different certifications. Java front, there are different certifications. But every time, whenever you're learning something, get certified. It's a logo which will make people understand that you have actually learned it. Okay, so that is what I would suggest. I hope that answers the
Sure.
question.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
So, is without any prior experience in industry, is that useful for us? Because I'm a fresher.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Don't mind about any prior experience. Any of the technology. If you have any internship which your college can offer, please go ahead with it. Otherwise, it's better for you to learn on yourself and approach any of the startups. They will consume the freshers very fast. If you are looking for a job to get into very easily, approach the PSF people. They would support you a lot. Apart from that, go and approach startups. They consume freshers very fast. Only thing is you should be good enough. The recent comment from Tech Mahindra CEO was that we have quite a lot of engineers who get passed out every year, but not many of them know how to code. I'm speaking about the computer science engineers, not any other engineers. The quality is pretty less what we are getting out of colleges. That's why it's not a dearth of jobs out there. There are jobs. There is no quality in the engineers. That's the problem. So build the quality, people are ready to hire you. Okay. So any other questions? So quite a big comment from Amjad. Quite a few questions there. How do you connect to Microsoft Cloud VMs and existing servers in a company who needs to increase the server capacity? You need the Azure Portal to go ahead and connect to the Microsoft Cloud VMs. You need the Azure Portal to do that. Does the existing servers of a company have to have peculiar specifications to match which cloud solution to scale the requirements? And it depends upon your architect. He decides how do you have to scale up and what your solution should look like. It's up to your architect. Okay. Is Microsoft will be contacted as a third-party service provider to get its service of the cloud? You need not contact Microsoft. If you have just a cloud architect in your team, he's enough, and a subscription to the cloud portal. That's what is required. Nothing apart from that. Yeah, that's what is required. Any other questions? No questions. We can close the session.
So we have any
Means-
other sessions like this, or I mean, this is the last session
I'm sorry. What is that?
on basics. No, do we have any other sessions like this, continuation series?
I just need to think about it. I'm pretty much squeezed in my schedule. I am working with multiple partners in the week, so it depends upon my schedule. As of now, I didn't plan anything as a sequence of this session. If at all anything is planned, we will definitely get back to you. You will get an intimation from PSF.
Okay. So if you, I mean, can we join your training sessions if you are training associates for AZ 900, 104 or 204?
I don't train directly. I train through corporates. Like in my week, I'm training IBM software engineers and Cognizant software engineers. So I don't train directly to anyone. I train through corporates or through MNCs. I don't do freelancing like a tutorial based freelancing. That's not how I work. So
Okay.
I think you can approach any of the tutorial providers out there. They should be able to help you. That is what I would suggest.
Okay. So your courses are in Udemy or something like that with your as with your name as author, Simply Learn
No,
or your.
I don't have it in Udemy. I have it in Simply Learn, but Simply Learn will be provided only for the people who have subscribed to it. I have it with Eureka, I have it Simply Learn, I have it Global Knowledge, I have it multiple partners, but it's a paid subscription. So I'm afraid you can't get it for free.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions?
Sir, going directly for the Azure Administrator 104, is that a best choice for me? Because I'm a recent graduate.
What are you actually?
I'm a
You're
computer
graduate?
science engineer.
What's your technical background? What's your technical background? What are the language? What are the languages you already know?
C, C++, and Python.
Okay.
Also Java.
I would suggest don't go for 104. Go with 900 first. Anyone who wants to go with the cloud, go with 900 first. Go with the AZ 900 certification, then move forward from there. That is what I would suggest.
Oh, okay.
Go with the fundamentals, then move any direction you want. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
If we get in touch with Simply Learn or Eureka or Knowledge Hut, so we can tie up for this certification, right? They will train us, and I mean later we have to give the exam.
Correct. That is correct. That's how they work.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other question? I think that's pretty much about it. I think thanks a lot for joining, people. I hope it was an informative session. Thanks a lot. Nice interacting with you all. Thank you for joining. Hopefully, if at all there is another session, we will definitely intimate you. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day ahead and a great week ahead. Thank you.